Everyone, I'll go ahead and get started. So welcome, thank you guys for coming to our information session to talk about our short-term study away opportunities. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Brad Miner. I'm the program manager here in the George Washington School of Business, and I head up all of our elective study away opportunities, everything essentially that will be presented to you. I do want to point out these programs are restricted to school, or I guess they're open technically to all students here at George Washington University. Our faculty-led programs are offered to both undergraduate and graduate students. Here in the School of Business and around the university, our short-term exchange programs that I'll talk about are restricted only to graduate school of business students. And I do see a couple of GMBA students. I do just want to remind you that your program is kind of restricted, really emphasizing internships over the summer term. However, if you are interested on these programs, definitely come speak to me afterwards and we can see what opportunities would exist for you in particular. I do want to point out that this session is recorded, and so after tomorrow, we will kind of zip this presentation and then email it out to all of you. If you know of any students who have not, were unable to make it today, please do share this with them as well. So with that, I'll just jump right into it. Maybe. Awesome. So our agenda today, we're going to go over the short-term faculty-led programs that are being offered. We do have all of our faculty members here, as well as former participants to speak about their time with either this particular faculty members or on these particular program offerings. We do have time for each of you to ask questions to each of the faculty members, and we can also address questions at the end of the presentation. We are kind of on a time constraint to leave this area about by 7:30. I don't imagine we'll take longer than that, though. Then I'll go over our short-term exchange program offerings. We have 6 programs being available this upcoming summer. I'll go over our scholarship information, the application process. I'll highlight our business and society program offerings, answer any final questions that you would like to address to the group, and then we can conclude with a reception. We will have some food and some coffee and water just outside of this room. And so, real quick, a couple reasons on why study abroad. All of you are here, so obviously you're interested in going abroad or engaging globally. But a few reasons to definitely consider are just exposure to new regions. Some of you may be career switchers and looking to engage in a different region of the world. Studying abroad is a great opportunity to do that. Expand your international network, engage with corporate partners abroad. Additionally, you might want access to new topics. We have some really unique themes, especially by our faculty-led programs that are being offered, so really a chance to engage in that theme or that business discipline. Enhance your transferable skills. I can go on and on about the different transferable skills you can obtain on our programs. We'll do that definitely later if you guys actually apply to the programs. We'll do that in a pre-departure orientation. You can increase your cultural competency and awareness. Develop and expand your global network. All of our programs do try and engage corporations abroad. If you participate on our short-term exchange programs, you're automatically networking with a different university abroad, as well as other students from business schools around the world. And additionally, you just might want to advance your degree completion. You can have some of our programs count as either core elective classes towards your specific degree or elective credit. So this is a great opportunity to kind of get ahead and get additional credit towards your degree. So real quick, want to highlight just our program offerings for the summer term. As I did mention, we do have 4 faculty-led programs international, one to Japan, Kazakhstan, Sweden, and the United Kingdom. I will also highlight our business and society program that's being offered here in Washington, D.C. And then again, we do have short-term exchange programs to China, Denmark, France, Taiwan, and there is one program that is not on this flyer that is to Argentina, and I will talk about that in a little bit. So with that, I will turn it over to Dr. Narati to talk about our program to Japan.
Hi, I'm Lisa Delphi-Narati, Professor of Sports Management here in the School of Business. And how many Olympic Games have I attended thus far, consecutive Olympic Games? 19 consecutive Olympic Games. First one was 1984 winter. Anybody know where the 1984 winter Olympic Games were? Sarajevo, country that does not exist, well, yes, country does not exist right now. But anyway, I wanted to share with you, I've had an opportunity to bring students to the Olympic Games since 1992, winter and summer. And it's just been a great pleasure for me to get to know the students through the Olympics, but to share my Olympic passion with the students. And it is a very grueling class. I'm not just a trip to the Olympic Games. As we say at the Olympics, you sleep rarely. Or we're about type of the housing because you're up late and you get up early. And this also prepares you for work in this field. Because if you want to get into the sports and event business, when it's showtime, you're working until all hours of the night to get that event up and running and to make sure that everything is going well. And so this, as I say, if my students, get tired and say, oh, start griping, I said, just look around you. Look at all the volunteers, look at all the staff members. How many hours a week do you think they're getting? And so be happy that, you do have a little bit more time off than most of these people. But as part of your experience, you are going to be working for the International Olympic Committee, and the work is pretty mundane. It's collecting data on how many people are going on buses, how many people are going into a hospitality lounge, perhaps how many people are sitting in a section of seats, like the media section or the athlete section. So, we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But this data, and for many of you who are studying data analytics, the whole purpose of this data collection exercise is to find ways to reduce the scope of the Olympics to make it more sustainable for future host cities. Just many of you may not know, but of a seating bowl like this, they designate so many seats, no matter whether it's the first event or the finals, to media, another set to VIPs, another set to athletes. Now, in the first round of competition, how many athletes are going to be sitting there? All the athletes are going to be competing until at least the semifinals or later. So it doesn't make sense to block off 500 seats for athletes when nobody's sitting there. That's why you get all the bad media saying, where's all the people? And if you have heard, in Japan, there's a shortage of tickets right now. Everybody wants tickets and there's no tickets to be had. Well, couldn't they reduce the number of these reserved seats, sell them to the public right now? So that's what we're working on, and this data is helping to inform decisions, which I'm hoping all of you are learning in your business classes about how important data is in decision making. So anyway, that's one piece of it. You're also going to be studying a certain area, and you can choose which area of the Olympic Games you want to study, whether it's ticketing or hospitality or transportation or the politics. And then you write a term paper on that topic. So everybody has their own topic. And so, the term paper, we have a little exam before we head off to the Olympic Games, because if we start throwing out acronyms, NOCs, IFs, ASWAF, ACE, and you have no idea what those are, it's not going to look very good to our guest speakers. And so while we're in Tokyo, we bring in everyone from IOC members, the staff of the IOC, International Olympic Committee, to the National Olympic Committee. We usually meet with U.S. Olympic Committee, U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee representatives. We meet with a lot of sponsors. So we meet with Visa and Coca-Cola and GE and Intel and ask them why do they spend millions of dollars and how do they activate around the Olympic Games. So you get to meet a lot of individuals. And as was said earlier, part of this course is, yes, it's great education, but it's also great networking. And you network within your class, you network with all the Olympic family, and you network with other Olympic spectators. I call that social research. After after your shifts and after your lectures, you go out and enjoy the games. But anyway, so the logistics here, it is 3 credits. Many people say it's worth 6 credits, but I want to make sure everybody can afford it, and so we keep it at 3 credits. The campus dates, we meet 3 times. One of these is we have representatives from IOC that will come and help train us, so we're prepared for once we go over. And then the overseas dates, those are the actual dates of the course. The International Olympic Committee is paying for people to go over, actually departing the 14th, arriving the 15th. And so they will pay from the 15th all the way to the 9th. Oh, that's my own slide. Sorry, I thought I had more slides. But let me bring up Lisa, has no yet. And she attended the 2016 Games as a student, and then she was my assistant in the 2018 Winter Games. So I thought that she should share some experiences.
Yeah, thanks for having me. So Lisa kind of introduced me, but I was able to go to 2 games with her, which was really incredible. First, as a student, it was the first year that we did the data capture position with the IOC. So it's kind of a learning curve for all of us, but it was really interesting to be able to actually attend the events and do the work at the events. So as part of my role, I was assigned to the swimming venues. Actually, I got to be there when Michael Phelps won his 19th and 20th gold medals. And it was literally part of my job to be there, so it's just really amazing. And then kind of secondary to that, another project that we worked on was helping at the USA House. So for those of you who don't know, a lot of countries kind of put up a hospitality house at each games where they invite athletes, sponsors, and a whole group of their kind of Olympic families. So we got to volunteer there as well. So just really, really incredible experiences, and I think kind of to Lisa's point of getting to know other people. I'm actually still really good friends with a lot of the people that I met on both programs, and a lot of them are in those industries, so it's just really good natural networking that kind of continues even after the games. And then I would say in Korea, just totally different experience between winter and summer. And it was really interesting to see the way different companies activate. You know, you have to do a whole other set of things when you're wearing heavy clothes and worrying about freezing while you're outside versus just going out in your summer in shorts. And companies really have to think about that too. So just 2 really incredible experiences. I actually got to go to opening and closing in Korea too. So just lots of once-in-a-lifetime things that I could never imagine being able to do. Furthermore, being able to do it 2 games in a row. So highly recommend it, and happy to answer or talk to anyone who's more interested after too.
And this was just part of the uniform that we received, that obviously in Tokyo we were going to be wearing. We would hopefully not wearing that. It'll be extremely hot. And then these are all the different Olympic pins through the years that I've been bringing students. Every year GW designs a different Olympic pin, and we, the students have these to exchange with other people at the games.
Yeah, this is actually a really, really cool program. So everyone kind of does it with their lanyards, so you get to, talk to random people on the street that are like, oh, can I trade? Can I get this? Can I get that? So you come back with just like a whole slew of pins from all different countries, all different companies. And I was actually just telling Lisa when I was at my parents' house for Christmas break, I found a bunch of my dad's pins that he just randomly had from like the 92 games, 94, 96, and like all through. So I took them all and added to my collection as a way to trade with other people. Now I have older ones. But yeah, it's just like a super fun extra thing that everyone really gets on board with there.
Well, I know we're over our time, but thank you so much, and let me know if you have any questions. Take questions now. Any questions? Yes.
I have it's a 2-part question. Is this geared towards more towards students who are interested in the sports management? And if not, how does it benefit students who aren't interested in going that route?
So the one student that was most engaged in everything we were doing in Pyeongchang was actually project management, because the work we were doing related so much to the work she was studying. So the Olympics covers everything from the technical side to the marketing side and everything in between. So it would relate to you. Yeah.
So during our time in Tokyo, where do
we have housing already lined up, so we booked that earlier. So it's a small business hotel, but everybody will have single rooms with a TV and bathroom. Unlike in Rio,
we were in a hostel and 23 of us shared one room with triple bunks. So your hotel is amazing.
Quite the departure from it. And then now you know we lived on with Tommy Nats, all 30 of us. GW won't let me do that anymore. The rules have increased quite a bit since my time. Any others? I'll be around. Thank you. I'm just going to step out for a bit, but I'll be here.
Awesome. Thank you. And now we'll bring up Selene Mattis to talk about our program in Kazakhstan.
Well, good evening, everyone. Very cool, Lisa, Olympics. And so I'm so delighted to be here to present to you another wonderful example and experience of really taking what you're learning in the classroom to the field. And I'm here to talk about Kazakhstan. So this, as you may know, Central Asia is extremely exotic. And we will be spending time in the capital city known as Nur Sultan. Formerly Astana. So you Google it, you might still see Astana around, but the new name of that capital city is Nur Sultan. It is considered the heart of Eurasia. It's literally transformed itself into a 21st century showcase. It has bold, futuristic architecture that it's really well known for. And so we put together a really interesting group of clients that we're going to be working with. So we'll be tackling a business and tourism consulting assignment. And the clients that we've pulled together include the tourism, the National Tourism Committee. So that's their national tourism organization. Also the mayor's office, their investment and business department. And the Eurasian National University. So in the programs that I ran, this program is 16 years running, and I've run it for the past, this is my going on 5th year. Running it, we've been to Mexico, Indonesia, Italy last year, so Fred Lazaro will be sharing more about his experience there, Cuba, and so forth. So this is my 5th year. So it's a long-standing program. One of the unique aspects of it is that we partner with a national university usually, and so our students not only have the experience of working with business and tourism leaders, but you also have the experience of developing friendships and partnerships with your peers in different countries. And I can tell you from experience that this is just tremendous. Our students come back with lifelong new friends, and it can be very transformative. We've had students that have gone back to these countries multiple times after coming back. The clients in this case are really wanting us as GW consulting team to help them with several real important things. Because the city has literally transformed itself so quickly, and because it is the center of Asia, it's been attracting a lot of business travelers. And to some extent, it hasn't done a fabulous job at really helping to articulate what is most unique about it and communicate effectively how it stands out. And so they want us to help them with that. And we'll be looking at 3 main areas. The first area focuses on the sustainability of the city. So as you know, and you've all heard this, as tourism continues to boom globally, there's more and more of it. And having more visitors come into these places really causes some dramatic impacts of them. And so we'll be looking to understand what the impacts of tourism have been in Nur Sultan. So we'll be using a rapid approach to assessing sustainability in Nur Sultan. And so you will come back with some practical tools as well that you can apply way above and beyond just this experience. So that's one, assessing the sustainability of that place as a tourism destination. Second, is really understanding more about their experiences, tourism experiences that they're offering, and we'll be looking not only at the city, but surrounding the city because it's located on a windswept northern sea. We'll be looking at some interesting natural parks that we have, and we'll be trying to integrate the urban environment with nature. And this is real creative, hard work, and we did some of this in Italy, and Fred can speak to this. So we'll be looking at product development. That's the second area. And the third area will be focused on branding, really helping them to articulate a strategy that will really help them to attract more visitors, but to more effectively articulate what's most compelling about that. So those are the three things that we're doing. We're doing it with partners at the highest level. So we will be spending, the program consists of 2 courses. So it culminates with the field experience in Kazakhstan for 2 weeks. But you have 3 options. You can opt in to the first course, which is the consulting processes course, and we go through all the different phases of the consulting process there, and you do all the groundwork to prepare you to land in Kazakhstan, prepare to take on that consulting assignment. So it's learning the general techniques, approaches for consulting, but then also doing the groundwork for us to be ready as consultants to do the job when we arrive in Nur Sultan. Okay, so that's the first course, the consulting processes. And we start meeting in May, and we meet on Monday evenings, and then it's 4 weeks basically. We meet twice a week. So it's 8 sessions, and then there's the international experience. That stands on its own. So if you want to do that only, that's fine as well. They're independent of each other, but we really recommend that you consider taking them together because they build on each other. Okay? And then we come back after Kazakhstan and have 2 sessions because this is a real consulting assignment. Dr. Nairodi mentioned this for that experience, and I think it's similar. You will be pushed beyond your comfort zone. As they say, growth comes when you leave your comfort zone. And I can tell you this is real hard work because these are real clients and we want to do a good job, and Frank can tell you how seriously you take that on and want to deliver well for this important place in Central Asia. So in the field, we have lectures. There are a few lectures, so experts come in, but you also go out to the field. Language, of course, will be an issue in this case, but that's the reason you're working with students from Eurasian National University, and they help with translations, and you plan out your field work together. So you get access to a lot of top decision makers in government, in private sector, civil society, a wide range of actors. You learn how to facilitate, lead meetings, how to think quickly, how to work and live with a lot of people or in real cramped quarters. And our clients are subsidizing housing and also the on-the-ground costs. So to be in a place like Kazakhstan for 2 weeks would be much more expensive without that. So know that that's like a big plus about this program. We work hard to find clients that will cover those costs. It is a transformative experience, but it's hard work, and I want to let you know that. I see Joel here, who went to Italy with us last year as well. And so you could speak to the students about it. But it is a resume builder. Many of our students have come back and said that in their interviews, this has been one of the things that they've used and discussed a lot. So with that, I will leave you, hopefully with enough information about where it is that we're going, what it is that we're doing, and some of the benefits that you could derive by joining us in Kazakhstan. So I hope you consider this, and I'd love to invite Fred now to maybe offer a few insights about that experience.
Sure, thank you, Selene. Everything Selene said is true. It was a great experience. It was unlike any experience I've had at GW. You get 6 credits out of this over the summer, which is also a great way to continue to get your schooling requirements done. I did an internship as well last summer and was able to parlay some of the experience that I had with the internship into the sustainability work that was being done in Italy that led to a better experience with the internship and meeting more people on the road in Italy. They're welcoming you to come to a country to help them solve a problem that they're having around tourism. So as a result, they're rolling out the red carpet for you. We had some delicious meals. We had access to park managers, government officials, mayors, people who were willing to sit with us and talk to us for a long time about a lot of things. And I'm still in touch with a lot of those people. And to Selene's point about taking that and going forward with it, I'm still in touch with some of the people in Italy that do the sustainability efforts. And I've been able to parlay that into relationships with folks at the embassy here in DC and talking to some of the tourism folks in New York and some of the Italian cultural societies that exist here and clubs and groups. So I've been able to parlay this work and get out to a broader group of people. You do meet a lot of people. The hours are long. Selene is right. It's similar to... Oh, calling somebody. It is hard work. The hours are long, but you're on the ground talking to people and conducting interviews and doing data analysis and doing different research. It can be long, and you can meet some great friends. Joel and I had many dinners together at around 10:30 at night, but that's usually when everybody in Italy is eating. So that actually turned out all right. But it's a great trip, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have. I would highly recommend it. I would highly recommend doing the consulting project as well as the international experience to go with it, so it complements all of it together. But I would highly recommend this trip and strongly suggest that you do it if you have any interest in tourism or sustainability or destination management.
So I don't actually have a question. I do have a comment. I was a student at a future trip or at the opportunity on a future trip. I ended up not being able to go for some reason. But the group that I had, studying the aspects of the book that I did create a lifelong connection with that group. So I kind of just want to piggyback off of what you said. It does create an environment where you not only get to connect with people outside of your comfort zone, but you get to connect with people in other countries and things of that nature, that you'll be surprised with lifelong friends that you create right here at the GWSB business that you may not have never connected with. So I just wanted to kind of see your faces and say thank you. Great.
I think that Joel with Fred is my secret lover, basically. The best thing about this course is the sense of accomplishment. And this is the best thing I can share with you. I was exactly there, exactly like you. I was actually right there. I was not emotionally as I went today because some personal things were going on, so my trip in Italy was not as good as I thought it would be to me. Because today, I'm applying the knowledge that I had with Selene in another project. And now I'm realizing, holy cow, what I just did is something great and amazing. It's true, you're going to work a lot, you're going to be grinding some information, but it's totally worth it. And you're going to know people that, I'm Portuguese, I went to Italy, and I learned that they're not the same. There's some subtle differences. There are some differences among European nations. So this is definitely a go-to. My friend,
I 100% agree with
The
you.
Harvard itineraries and like the scopes of work should be super. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Slaney. Thank you, Fred. Next, I'll bring up Dr. Robert Weiner to talk about his program to London, England.
Hi, I'm Ron Weiner. I'd like to thank you all for coming. So my program is a little bit different in a number of different ways from the two programs that you've just heard. The first is that this is the longest running GWSB program and probably the longest running short-term abroad program in all of GW. We started this under the auspices of our former Dean David Fowler and Lord Colin Sharman of the British House of Lords back in 2001. So we've done this program many times, different focus each time, but we've learned a lot and have a lot of contacts in London. We have over 250 alums of this program, and I didn't ask any of them to come because I knew we were under short time constraint, and I selfishly wanted to have the time for myself. But in order to give them a chance to speak to you on your own time, there are 5 blogs about this program from former alums from both MBA, MSGC, and non-GWSB student backgrounds, all on the website for this program. And so if you're interested in the program, you can read at length what students have had to say about it. The second difference is that, unlike the other programs, this is not a consulting project. The client in this program is us. We are here not to serve others at low-paid or unpaid labor, as you just heard from one of my predecessors, but we are the client. Our objective is learning for ourselves, and that works in a number of different ways. The first thing is those late nights that you heard euphemistically described as hard work, lack of sleep. That's what I want people to be out in pubs, talking to the locals, and getting a sense of the country and institutions, rather than scurrying to get their projects done. You'll be scurrying to get your projects done once we get back. So the consulting project, we will not have a consulting project that will compete with our experience abroad. When we're abroad, we'll be focusing on the institutions and the environment and the people and the companies and the government, not on a consulting project. So if you're really interested in doing a consulting project as your primary study abroad experience, you definitely do not want to do this program. We're focusing much more on learning because the UK is a lot different from Kazakhstan. I've never been to Kazakhstan, but I've been to Azerbaijan, which is fairly close and very similar. The UK is a country with similar issues, similar challenges to the United States, and the idea of learning is to bring back ideas from the UK to our own problems. And the focus is on business in the state, especially state ownership and privatization, and the emphasis is on industries that face similar challenges. So, for example, healthcare. Some of the candidates for the U.S. presidency have proposed to nationalize part of our healthcare system. Is that a good idea? Well, there's a lot of heat, but not much light. The UK has many years of experience with the nationalized healthcare system. And we go and talk to people who work in that system, so we can get a sense from people's experience, what is it like to have nationalized healthcare? We focus on industries that are sort of relevant for the careers of our students. We're not focused on a single industry like tourism, but we do the main industries that are relevant in Washington: infrastructure, healthcare, finance, transport, industries that are typical for our students' careers, whether they're working in consulting or whether they're working for manufacturers like Lockheed Martin or for government agencies. The third way that this program is different is that this program is the only cross-listed program. The other programs are GWSB programs. This program is cross-listed with the Trachtenberg School with the idea that a lot of the learning about the public-private interface comes from working with and networking with students studying public management. If you are going to be in an industry that deals with the state a lot, such as defense contractors, which is one of the main industries in this area, it will help to actually know what their mindset is and their way of thinking, what they think is important, and you do that sharing a pint, or you do that working on your project, or you do that in class. So we've mixed students studying public management, mostly from the Track and Merge School and the Elliott School, with students studying private management, mostly MBA and MSGC. Gives us a first-hand perspective on the public-private interface. The other aspect that's different is we only spend 1 week abroad. This is a 6-credit program, but it is not based on other courses. It is its own course. So we meet for the 10-week semester, 1 evening a week, Thursday evening, to minimize conflicts with other courses. And the study abroad is part of the learning of this course, and it builds on a lot of concepts in this course that are part of the mainstream study in the business school, and closely related to other courses, rather than being applications in a particular industry. The 1 week that we go is the week of U.S. Independence Day, which tends to be a light week at home. Most people can get that week off, even if they've got a full-time internship or the GMBA or whatever. And so we go when things are slow here. It happens that this year, July 4th falls on a Saturday, so it's very important for you to be back in the U.S. to celebrate U.S. Independence Day. You can easily leave London in the morning and be back and celebrate July 4th twice. And so we have 1 week abroad, and then we come back and then do the heavy lifting after we come back. And so the hard work that we do is not competing with our time abroad. The final aspect that's different is we focus a lot on politics. All of these issues, all of these industries, infrastructure, healthcare, have heavy political aspects to them. And one thing that we don't do much in graduate education at GW is we don't really talk about the political background of these issues. The UK has a very, very different political system than the United States. And the question of looking at how the political system interacts with the sort of technical questions that we grapple with benefits from looking at these issues from the point of view of a country with a parliamentary system rather than a presidential system like the United States. I've gotten the hook, so I have to finish up. And so I haven't talked much about the fun things that we do. We do lots of fun stuff, but one of the things that we do is we talk about the political system. We go inside the House of Commons and inside the House of Lords and hear from members of the House of Lords and members of the House of Commons about the challenges that they face associated with the public-private interface. I think since I've run out of time, I'll stop there and take it. Oh, sorry. In that case, I will take any questions that anybody has about the program. There's lots of the program has its own page with itineraries, all this, which is accessible by a link from the GNE page, and which has the blogs of students from the programs. One of the best things when people have said, although professors have a mixed view about this, one of the best things that the students have said is the best thing about this course is the other students in the course, rather than saying the professor, because those students come from a wider variety of backgrounds, because they're not all from GWS. Any questions or anything I can answer? Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Weiner. And now we'll bring up Dr. Helm to talk about her program to Sweden.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Delighted to be here to talk about my STAP to Sweden, Stockholm in the summer. Thank you for coming out. I know you have a lot of great options and amazing trips to choose from. I would like to convince you that Sweden is the best one. But I will tell you why, and I also am joined by a student, Annalise. Okay. Oh, you came forward. Thank you. Are you sitting back there? Because I think U.S. students probably want to hear the student perspective. They will tell you the truth, and they will kind of share some perspectives as to how the course was particularly helpful for them in their situation in their career. So the question is, why Stockholm for this particular course? And you see it has a very long title. I don't know if you read it, but it has to do with the innovation ecosystem and the internationalization of high-tech firms, high-tech startups. So I've taught different renditions of my Sweden course since 2010 in the GMBA CAP as a STAP, focusing on healthcare, done clean tech variations of the course. But a couple of years ago, we decided that it would be a really good idea, since we have an increasing online population here in the business school, that we develop a course that is really purely developed for the online venue. And this is the first course that we developed as an online course. So if you're in the online program and are aware of the interface and have worked through those different courses, you will have a similar experience in this class with recorded videos, with a lot of pedagogical instruments and technologies embedded with VoiceThread, etc. But really the intention is that this course should be accessible to anybody, whether you're on campus or off campus. And I think in the summertime it could be good not to have to come to campus on a regular basis. So it's definitely for anybody, even the PMBA program. So now the question again, why Sweden for this particular topic? So one of the significant factors specifically for Stockholm is that it's the #2 unicorn factory of the world per capita. Second only to Silicon Valley. So there's a lot of action happening in Stockholm when it comes to startups and new technologies. So we typically work with high-tech companies. Last year we had specifically one AI company. We had some work with a social robot. We did a healthcare, kind of e-health related company, and also last company that had to do with clean tech and water purification. So a little bit of the sustainability. We try to bring a variety of different client projects to the students. So the way this works is that students typically develop market entry plans for these clients. And you're not only learning about those specific industries, and it will be different this year, but we'll again try to bring a variety of different industries so we can meet a lot of different student interests. But you will also learn hypothesis-driven consulting methodology. So we're going to work so that you eventually will be very comfortable with running your own consulting projects or running other projects that are not necessarily in the consulting industry in the future. So the whole idea is to make sure that you learn transferable skills through these projects. And I would say also, it's really amazing to learn about the culture and about a location by being involved not only in private interactions with people, but really in business interactions. They will share a lot of information with you and talk about philosophies around running businesses, strategies that they are contemplating, etc. So it's really a good way to get under the hood of how people are thinking in the business context of a country. So some of the specifics around the course, again, you're not bound to being on campus really at any given time during the semester. We will have live sessions in addition to all the recorded videos and discussion boards and things like that. We will have these live sessions every week. So that will start happening at the first day of summer session 1 on May 18th. And then we'll travel to Sweden in week 6 of the course, from the 20th through the 22nd. I think we have some more details and bring up here. And then we have 2 more weeks in the class, so it ends on the 11th of July. And really at the end, you will come out having produced a very thorough professional level consulting report to your client in Sweden. While we're in country, we will not only work really hard, because I have to say that, yes, it does take a lot of hard work to finish these projects. We always try to finish as much as we can before departure to the country, right? So that you can enjoy the country as well. So we'll have different site visits. We usually, one of the highlights is to visit the Viking village. We also often visit the parliament, talk to the politicians there, parliamentarians. We go to different organizations that support innovation and the startup ecosystem. Innova is one. There's something called Business Sweden. There's also the Swedish Institute that we often visit that is actually the kind of the owner of the nation brand in Sweden. So it's really interesting to talk about kind of the cultural, societal values in Sweden and how they are branded and really pushed out when it comes to making Sweden known in the world. So that's really what we do in country. So I think that gives you a little bit of an overview. One thing that is really unique with working in Sweden is that this is very flat in terms of the hierarchical structure. So you will get to engage with small, medium-sized kind of startups, often directly with the CEO, founder maybe marketing director, but you will have an opportunity to have direct impact on that business, help them develop U.S. market entry plans. So I will now let Annalise talk about the student experience. I think, again, that's probably what you want to hear about more than anything else, and then we'll be happy to take questions afterwards.
Thank you. So I will say that this is one of my favorite experiences at GWSB to date. This was the first online course that I'd ever taken, so that was an experience in and of itself. It not only helped expose me to a different type of technology and to a resource that I have through all my other courses with Blackboard and Collaborate and building a introduction to my colleagues, but it built my confidence in terms of contributing to discussion boards and in terms of critical thinking and research. So before you even go to the country, you have that exercise and that opportunity to learn in a different format. And then throughout the process of preparing for the trip, you have two pieces that are really, really critical in gaining a better understanding, both in terms of consulting and in terms of the cultural immersion. You read this piece, it's called Modern Day Vikings, which prepares you and kind of debunks all the myths and about Swedish culture, about Swedish people in general, and then there's McKinsey engagement, and that was a great piece that has helped me in my day-to-day experience as a full-time professional and a consultant on another study abroad that I just completed. When you arrive in the country, there is some work to be done, but you've been talking to your team and seeing how people interact, how people work through the discussion boards and through the live sessions. So you hit the ground running both socially and professionally, and it's a really great opportunity to really get to know your colleagues. And with this STAP in particular, you're going to be interacting with all sorts of different people, not only online, but PMBAs, global MBAs, and folks that are focused on innovation and technology, since that's the focus of this STAP. I had folks that I was competing against in a venture competition that I had no idea about beforehand, and now, after having completed that experience, I've created groups, which was a challenge for me prior to this short-term abroad program because I just didn't know people. But having worked with people and having seen their presentations and seeing how they work now, I have more of a network here at GWSB, which is great. In terms of the consulting work itself, I worked with Buddy Healthcare, which was a mobile medical care app, and I was interacting face-to-face and on a regular basis with UC, who's their CEO, and Pipsa, who was their marketing manager. And you just usually don't get that sort of interaction with decision makers on a regular basis. And we not only interacted face-to-face with our client, but with the other clients as well. There are networking events with GW alumni who are based in Sweden or in the Nordic area. There are plenty of social events that invite those folks out to get to know us a little bit better on a social level as well. And then the presentations themselves, you're honing your presentation skills, getting feedback from Professor Helm and from the TA, and you're getting feedback that is collaborative because you're building an actual product in terms of a market entry plan or an expansion plan. So you're not just doing a product to get the grade, you're doing it to help someone build their business. So it's a really great experience. I would 1,000,000% endorse this STAP. This is one of 4 that I've completed, and it is my favorite that I've completed. Don't tell the professor. I am available to answer any questions. Please let me know. Thank you.
Again, if you have any questions, either now or maybe in the networking session afterwards, I don't even know how much time it took. If you have any questions? Okay.
I'll go ahead and just move on real quick. So I'll go quickly through our short-term exchange programs. There's a lot of information on our website about these programs in particular, so I'm just going to provide some general highlights. These are short-term immersive experience. They're conducted solely by our partner universities, and so our own faculty and staff are not available on site. But it is a great networking opportunity to meet with our international partners. And then again, our partners have they partner with business schools from around the globe, and so it's a highly diverse cohort of students that you'll be working with. In total, we have 21 global partners around the world. We are currently partnering with 6 of them to offer our 6 offerings this summer. And I do want to point out that these are restricted to graduate students within the School of Business, and so they are not available for any other student here at GW. So our first program is in Argentina. It is Seizing Opportunities in Emerging Markets at IAE Business School. It's located in Buenos Aires, Argentina. The campus itself is about 20 minutes away by public transit. It's focused on entrepreneurship in Latin America and on emerging markets in Latin America, primarily with a focus in Argentina. Students will earn 1.5 credits towards the degree here at George Washington. It is only for MBA students because our partnership is only with their MBA program, and it's 1 week in duration. Our second offering is Beyond Summer School in China at Fudan University School of Management. It's right in Shanghai, China. This is 2 weeks long in duration. Students will earn 3 academic credits. We're currently waiting on their July dates to be published, but it will be 2 weeks in July. Last year's dates were July 7th to July 19th. So we expect it to be roughly the same. Our partners at Fudan will get us this finalized itinerary at the end of January. Our third option is Denmark, which is the International Summer University Program through our partner in Copenhagen Business School. Again, this is in Copenhagen, Denmark. This is probably the one short-term exchange program that has a variety of academic disciplines. So there are about 100 courses being offered at CBS. Students can elect to take either 3 credits or 6 credits towards the degree at this program. And there's 2 types of course offerings. You can either go for 5 weeks and take an ordinary course, which will meet about 3 times a week. The dates are published right there, June 19th to July 23rd. If you do not want to be away for the entire duration and you want to earn 3 credits, you could participate in one of the short-term courses. Those dates would be from June 19th to July 9th. Our next option here is at our partner business school, ADEC in Nice, France. It's called Globalizing Europe. This program is primarily focused on the European Union and how it does business as a whole. Graduate students will earn 3 credits towards the degree. Program dates are June 15th to July 2nd. Our next program is the Global Manager in Europe. This is at ASEC Business School. This is located just outside of Paris, France. Students will earn 3 academic credits. It is preferred that students come from our MBA program, any sort of MBA program here at George Washington, and the students have 2 to 3 years work experience. The average work experience for participants on this program is about 5 years, and so it is kind of at a higher level that ASEC is looking for. And then our most recent option is with NCCU, College of Commerce in Taiwan. It's Business Management in Asia. This is a brand new program we're launching this year through our partnership. It is open to all graduate students here in the School of Business. It's 3 academic credits. I do want to point out that the dates will overlap a little bit with the spring semester depending on your course schedule. So it's May 17th to May 30th. This opportunity would give you 3 academic credits towards your degree. It's studying general business with the context of looking at the entire Asian continent. And you'd still have the kind of your remainder of summer to do whatever it is you'd want to do back here in the U.S., or you could participate on any one of our other program offerings as well. I do want to point out that we do have alumni who've completed each of these programs with the exception of NCCU because that is brand new. And so if you are interested in these offerings and would like to talk to a student who's already done these, please do reach out to the G&E office and we'll connect you with those students. Next, I do want to highlight our scholarship information. So we do have scholarships available for all of our study abroad opportunities each academic term. They are restricted to students in the School of Business, and in order to be eligible for a scholarship, you have to have been accepted to one of our programs. If you apply by the January 31st deadline, we'll automatically plug you in for a scholarship. In order to receive your scholarship, you must fully commit to the program, and then also eligibility requirements state that you can only earn a scholarship once, so you cannot have already earned this type of scholarship. We do have two kind of different types of awards available. One is a regular tuition scholarship. It's about $1,000 towards your tuition for the program, and the second is a blogging scholarship. Slightly more money, and the requirement for that is you actually blog during your program. The application for each of these is listed within each of the program applications, and so it's very hard to miss. You just need to write one essay. If you're applying for the blogging scholarship, we do ask you to write a temporary blog post, fill it with photos, and detail kind of one of your travel experiences. So wrapping up here, final steps, the application for all of the programs that were just mentioned is January 31st. Our applications close firmly at 11:59. At 12 p.m. the next day, they are officially closed. You can no longer access them. I would encourage everyone to apply to as many programs as you're interested in. There is no capacity, so you can apply to all of the faculty-led and the short-term exchange, or you can apply to just one. You will have a better chance of getting into all of our programs if you do apply to more than one, so we can kind of select your options. All applications are reviewed by the G&E staff as well as our faculty leaders who you've heard speak tonight, and decisions are shared by February 12th, and so it is a relatively quick turnaround time. Those students who are admitted will receive notification on February 12th. You're given 5 business days to commit to the program. In order to commit, you have to place a $500 deposit. It goes automatically towards the program fee and just secures your space in the program. Students who are not immediately admitted will be placed on the wait list, and as spaces open up on each of our programs, we'll move you to the admitted portion and also allow you to have 5 business days to place your deposit. In terms of registration, all students will not be able to register in any of these short-term abroad programs. That is something that's done directly through the G&E office, and so you do not have to worry about that specifically. In terms of program fees, each program is built at George Washington School of Business tuition, and so all of the programs have slightly different credit variants, ranging from 1.5 up to 6 credits. You'll be charged your normal home tuition based on that amount. In addition, each of our programs have a program fee. This includes expenses that GW books on your behalf. So it could be lodging, it could be meals in-country transportation, but students should budget for additional expenses such as their flight in-country and personal meals and expenses. It's also just a note for those students who are admitted to the programs, please wait to book your airfare. Changes could occur, and we want to make sure that it's communicated with the G&E office, so we'll notify you when you can purchase your airfare. Final steps, just continued. Ensure that you are eligible and ready to travel. Everyone will need a valid passport in order to participate under programs. Your passport must be valid for at least 6 months after the program end date. That's set by the State Department. For any foreign nationals who would require meeting with the Office of International Services, I'd highly recommend you do that prior to applying, just to express your intent on applying to our programs and traveling abroad. And if you have any specific questions for us, please communicate via email, phone, Skype. Our office is available to help you guys kind of participate on these programs. Real quick, I'll just highlight our Business and Society series. This is another form of our elective program offerings. These are open enrolled programs. They do fill up really quickly, and they take place over a week-long duration here in Washington, D.C. And this is essentially utilizing our global and experiential learning development here in Washington, D.C. The class itself engages in a variety of site visits, speakers, and panel discussions here in D.C. There are some pre-online sessions prior to the week that you come to D.C. There's no program fee associated with it. It does automatically go towards the tuition, and it's open registration in March when you're able to register for the summer programs. And so it's a first-come, first-served basis. We are offering one program this coming summer. It's on strategic foresight with Professor Thomas DeBoss. Here are the online session dates, and then the week that is DC, June 10th to 13th. And just a pitch for our long-term study abroad partners. As I did mention, we do have 21 partner institutions. You can study at those for a full semester, fall or spring, and again, we do offer our short-term programs. They do rotate each kind of winter, spring, spring break, and summer term. So if one is of interest to you, please come talk to our office. Any general questions? No? Awesome. Then I'll just conclude here. We can move to the reception if you guys have specific questions for any of the G&E staff or any of our faculty members or wonderful alumni who came to speak. There are some cookies, water, fruits, and snacks outside. Thank you guys for coming.